You can't wait for life. We're just wasting time.
Hello, love lockdown. Your love lockdown. Gotta keep your love locked down. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Showtime in Paris, brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Networks. Oh my goodness, man! Show tonight's episode is going to be steamy, juicy, fire. Can you agree?
That's what I've been hearing.
So the word in the streets is tonight's episode is going to be all that. So it's something that you don't want to miss. Show, what we talking about tonight?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. As you see, I got this right here. This is kind of the person I am. I'm just a little simple, cuddly human being. This freak, this animal, Paris Lauren, she wanted to do this topic, which embarrasses me because I'm not that kind of guy. But she wanted to do a freaky, spicy topic. So this topic is called For the Freaks. So basically, we're just going to discuss
for the freaks.
There's a couple things, just like little stories here, little stuff that turns you off, little stuff that turns you on, things you're willing to do, things you aren't willing to do, things people find crazy. Where's the craziest place? We're just going to share, have a fun episode where we all just kick it, laugh, talk about silly stuff, jokes.
Exactly. So if you guys like to, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, if you want to join our conversation, definitely let us know. We will actually add you and bring you up on the platform so that you can tell us some of your spicy, juicy, steamy stuff, because we are so interested in hearing what you got to say. So let's turn into this conversation.
Where should we start?
Oh, my bad.
How can we start this? Can we go with funny situations? A situation that made you uncomfortable? Let's share a story or share an incident. Has anybody ever made you? Let me ask you: have you ever been in a situation sexually where you got really uncomfortable and you had to get out of there, or you stopped it early? Or
yes,
a situation that was just awkward.
Yes, I actually did, right? So for me, I have to have like a sexual attraction to a man, and that attraction has to be where I'm like feeling you feeling me, and we could take it to that level. And when I have that attraction, then it takes everything, that person only has to do the bare minimal to turn me on. So it came a point in time where, it got a little juicy, and then I just lost attraction to the person, and I actually had to get up and leave. Like I literally was like, listen, I'm done. I couldn't do this. And I left the person without even saying goodbye or anything like that. It was really awkward, but it was just something about the person at that time was just like, do I really want to do this? No. And the person was ready, right? I'm like, nah, this ain't for me.
So when you lost attraction, was it like, how far did you get into the act? Like, was y'all in the middle of it? Was it going on? Was it like just the foreplay stage?
So it was like a foreplay stage, right? And during that foreplay stage, you guys kind of get turned on easy. Some guys do, right? Because you guys think with the bottom half. But it was in that instance, I was just like, nah, this is not for me.
And you just checked out right during the situation?
Yeah. I checked out during the situation and I left. And I was like, goodness gracious, I heard there's a such thing as blue balls. And I was like, it is what it is. I really don't care. Because to me, I thought a certain time and a certain age, a man can't get blue balls anymore. So like if a man is in his 40s or 50s,
age for the blueness of the balls?
I didn't think a man could get those in his like 40, 50s, right?
What's funny is I never quite grasp whether that was just a term to express how you feel, because I never suffered from blue balls. Like I never was about to have sex.
The lies. A woman probably led you on and you ain't get no nookie that night.
No. That happened. But I'm talking about the actual discomfort people say, like they were hurting, they were like what actually blue balls is. I experienced the term when somebody left you high and dry or you was horny and it didn't work out. But it's never like, I think the only people who get those kind of pains are people who take sex pills. That take sex pills and then they expect some and then nothing happens. Then they get them headaches and everything they was talking about. And they got to Yeah, I've heard. I got a lot of friends, a lot of people who pop pills and do things before they have sex with new women, and they say if you don't have sex right away within like I'll say like an hour or so, they say you get this throbbing crazy headache. Like so you gotta have once you use it, they say you gotta have sex or you get like a crazy headache.
I'm sorry to spin gears, but I don't know if you ever took those sex pills before. But so if you don't, okay, so if you have sex while you're on those pills, does that mean that you won't get a headache or anything like that? It takes like when you release yourself, all the stuff comes out, and like
Well,
how does that work?
okay, now I had somebody recommend me. They like wanted me to try this so bad. It was when Black Ant was taking over the scene. It was these pills called Black Ant. They were like gas station material. They was at these gas stations, and they got popular. I'll say about maybe 8 to 10 years ago, where I'm from. People was taking them, and I was coming home from college, and they were like, "Man, you gotta try these Black Ants." You You know, we young, so it's like you don't really need them, but they were like, "Nah, man. If you do it to a girl off these the first time, because men have this theory, if they sex you right the first time, then it's like your first hit of crack. Like you know what I can do. I've done it. You can't say he can't F or he can't screw or this, that. Like you had great sex with them and now they'll be chasing that high. So if you come fast the second time or you get a little softer, they're like, oh, we already know what you did. But if you strike out the first time, you might not get that second chance with women.
So you guys got to come hard your first time when you sexing a woman.
Yeah. So most guys, I know they all about the first time. Like this got to work, especially if it's somebody bad, good looking that they want to do multiple times. So it's like, I can't ruin this. Or somebody in y'all circle that knows like people you know or know other women, you think they're going to tell how it went. So you like, I got to put this in the first time. So they used to do it only on really, really pretty women or somebody that they needed to lay it down on. After that, they only use them for first time people. That's how they said they use it. And they was telling me to try it.
Black ant. Go ahead.
Black ants. Yeah. So they was like, try it. Oh, it's a new thing taking over now. It's honey. They got this new honey now back where I'm from and other places I've seen on timeline. Everybody been talking about this honey that's taking over. But anyway, the Black Ant era was where I'm at. And they was like, yo, try it. And I was like, man, I'm not dying about no sex. I'm not doing it. They was like, nah, I just want you to try it. They was like, you could fuck for like 10 hours. You could do this and that. They was like for like 3 days. Basically what they say to do is after like 30, 40 minutes, you're hard, right? And it was like, you can pound as hard as you want, as rhythmic as you want, and you're not going to come. So basically you got your full hard and no threat of coming no time soon. So you can just go in there confidently and give it all you got in whatever stroke. And pretty much. So I took one. My friends peer pressured me into it. It's like, just try it. I want you to see it. I'm like, all right. So I took it. And honestly, I think it's mental. So I never really understood if it worked or not, because who's to say I wouldn't have done that anyway? You know, so you go in, and I did feel the headache though. Like it was like a slight temple pounding. Like it was like a little slight thumping in your head. But I did have sex for a long time, but that happens anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did it work? Maybe. But where I could say it definitely worked, then I don't know so much the first time, but it's like after you come, right? If you have sex again, like you real sensitive now. Like, so if you're just laying in the bed with the woman afterwards, usually the second time, if you're not that into them or something, maybe you won't get hard for a while. But
so you got to wait like 30 minutes?
Yeah, you might got to wait 30 minutes. You might got to get turned on. But if after on that pill, when you was laying there, if somebody just touch your leg, or you take a little glimpse and you see the little curve, you'll get immediately back hard. And on your second one, there's no chance of no cum coming. So you could definitely. So I could.
Do they still sell that?
Yeah, it was in the store. It was like $5, but it was like $5. Like I knew people who had stocks of them. Like my closest people. I don't want to put their names out, but my closest friends and family members, they had like packs of them. So usually they just have them on deck. Like, you need this? You go to see a girl. They're like, you want one? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Or
you sure you want a Black ant? It's like passing somebody a condom. You want the condom and the Black ant, or the Black Magnum and the Black ant?
Nah, they never seem to have the condom with it. The condom sold separately. You got to get the condom on your own, which makes me wonder if they ever really was using them. But I seen during that time, it was a lot of women. I seen women exposing men, like where I'm from too, on my timeline. They were like, oh, my man was having sex with me all crazy. I'm like, he ain't never do this. There was like, girls be on the lookout. And they'll post the Black ant. Like, I found this in his pocket. Y'all know about this? And dudes was laughing like, oh, you caught him on the Black ant. It was like a whole thing.
Audience, have you guys ever had a black ant or heard of a black ant? I have not heard of that before, but I heard of something like when I was growing up called Spanish fly, and it was like something to make you feel kind of horny and kind of like to put you over the edge, but it was like unisex, men and
Wait,
women.
wait, wait, wait. Spanish fly is a date rape drug.
Is
Ain't
it?
ain't that like what Charlemagne got accused of?
I don't know. I've never taken it before, but I've heard of it. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I heard of that, but I've never heard of black ant. Of course, I've heard of like, stuff that helps men like Viagra, stuff like that, but I didn't know.
It's a lighter form of Viagra. I know men who got Viagra. Like I got friends who got Viagra and was like try to give you a pill of that. Like you want to take
Are they in their 30s or 40s?
No, we 30 something plus, but I knew men who was taking Viagra at 20 something. I'm like, bro, you got
heck?
It's not even that they had erectile dysfunction. They just really didn't want to fail that first time with a new girl. Like you meet a chick and she got a big fat ass and you all excited and they just like, man, forget that. I'm not leaving it up to chance. They like, I want to get this right the first time.
So as a woman, I'm just going to tell you from a woman's perspective, right? I wouldn't want to be sleeping with a man for the first night and him like sleeping with me for 10 hours. We get tired, and women, we come quickly, right? So if you're into that man as a woman, I mean, you're going to, kind of have either an orgasm or you're going to release pretty quickly. Don't no woman want nobody pounding their vagina for like 10 hours. That's so unattractive.
This is why we can't stand y'all. Y'all got these 2-minute brother songs. I don't want no 2-minute man. I don't want it. And then when the dude master his craft, now he's pounding too long. And what you got a time frame? So what?
Yes, the average time frame that two people, to me, this is my personal opinion. The average time frame two people should be intimate or having sex is 15 minutes.
I'm not really mad at that. In sex time, 15 minutes is pretty long. Not if you're counting foreplay and stuff. I'm talking about like actual sex. Like it's a lot of stroking going on in 15 minutes. 5 minutes could be full of, if you do it right and it's real intense, you could just get in there, faint, get out, and then you could go back later. So yeah, it could be drawn out. But if you like go to the bar or you got drunk that night and you just having those wild moments, sometimes people have sex for hours or it's just like a marathon thing. They just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
I mean, honestly, after a certain time, like women, we could come multiple times, right? Like a woman could come 5-6 times in one session, where a man, y'all gotta come that one strong time, then y'all gotta get yourself together. So to me, 15 minutes allows that foreplay. It allows you to be, intimate, where you're having the intercourse, everything. I think that's the allotted time frame. If a man is having sex with you for longer than 30 to 40 minutes, that man is doing something to take care of himself, like he's jacking his penis, and when he gets a vagina,
don't hate on us.
He jacks his penis,
don't hate on us.
Or if he's not jacking his penis, he's having a lot of sex. And in a woman, we're able to tell if you guys are having a lot of sex or not, because it takes you forever to come.
Men are weird though. It's two things that's gonna happen. Like if it's a girl you really into, right? It's opposite effect. Sometimes you'll get too excited because you really wanted to get in there and you could come on the first 2 strokes. But then sometimes you're enjoying it so much, your body just going autopilot because you're not even thinking about your pleasure. You just you're so focused on getting the goal right. Like, oh, I want her to know that it's going down. And it's
mine. It's going down.
So you're doing it without the intentions of you. It's like, it got nothing to do with you. So you just want to please the woman and then you don't even come and it'd be a long time. But it's some women who like marathon stuff and it's some women who like short stuff. I think it all depends on the session, actually. Like, it's no real time limit. It's if things happen right for you, if it happened right for her, if it was a good vibe. I don't think it's really a clock. When you put a clock on, I think the only thing could be is too fast. But I guess for women, it could be too long too.
Yes, it can be too long. But you know what I've experienced though? Like, it depends on how a woman comes to bed too, right? So if a woman is coming to bed with her bonnet on, the granny outfit on and stuff like that, the man probably won't get turned on. She'll probably try to do some foreplay. But if a woman come to bed with her hair down, her lingerie on, you got your music playing, you doing that little foreplay, that guy's gonna come pretty quickly. What you think?
He doesn't have to. Me personally, I'm funny, right? I'm funny acting. If you I'm not into fake stuff. I'm like a real person. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't do nothing. I don't like imagine stuff. It's one thing to be sexy. It's one thing to be over the top of me. Like too much acting. Like if you come there like, oh baby, I just want to. I'm like, shut up. I won't even like take you serious. I'm like, whatever. But if you just naturally like, if you go in your closet and you pull out your good lingerie outfit, or you have on your good panties, that's enough. Like I don't need you to play Beyonce Strip for You and be running up and down the walls and all that. It's cool, and I'll just be watching. Like it's like a performance. Like sex to me is like, if I'm horny, I'm horny. Like if you look sexy, I'm gonna be hard and I'm ready to go. I don't need you putting on a whole performance and dance instructions. I got porn and stuff for that. But some women like to do it. I don't want to ruin it, but I don't care about this.
That's crazy. I guess it's each their own, because I think some men kind of like that, right? Where their woman is showing off and doing little dances and stuff and teasing them a little bit, doing all of this sexy stuff. The lights all low. I think that's sexy and it leads up to stuff, right? But to me, I think it depends on how much time you have. If you're trying to just hit it and run, then all that ain't necessary. But if you just trying to make love to that woman, then try to let her know she's sexy. Let her do all of that stuff.
No, see, that's the thing. A real man wouldn't stop you. You just really don't care. You ever had a guy do something for you and you appreciate it, but it really done nothing? Okay, it's like, I don't know if you said this before. You don't like your ass ate, do you? Or it's just a lot of women don't care.
Okay, yeah, I do.
A lot of women are indifferent. Like I heard, if you ask women about it, they be like, I don't mind it, but I don't really feel nothing. It does nothing for me. But they're not against it. It just does nothing for them. That's how I am with the over foreplay. Like if you're going to do some over, like if you dancing and doing all that, that's cool. I'm not going to stop you. But I'll just wait till it. But if you're going to really turn me on before it, do something to me. Like I don't care if you dancing or something. Like come over here and kiss on me and rub on me. That's cool. Like foreplay with me. I don't want to watch you dance for 20 minutes. And if it's a new girl, I think it works better with new girls actually, because you want to have sex with them so bad that you're just happy that it's getting to that point, so you can appreciate it. Like they dancing around and stuff. You're like, all right, at least we know we're about to do it. But if you with your wife or your girlfriend and you done had sex with her 180,000 times, you're dancing and stuff. Like I know what's in there. I know the package. I know the sex. It's like, let's get to it. Like I ain't got time for it.
So let me ask you something that kind of piques a question. Do men get tired of having sex with their girlfriends or their wives and stuff like that and just want something new? And how does a woman kind of bring something new to the table if a man kind of gets tired of them? Like you said, like, I already had you 180 times. I know what the vagina, I know what the package is like. How does a woman keep it spicy for somebody that they've been in a relationship with forever?
You know what's funny about that? Honestly, I don't think men get tired. That's a myth. I don't think men get tired of having sex with the same woman. I think they get annoyed with the woman. Like, the good thing about having sex with a new person, that's why like when sometimes y'all catch y'all man cheating, women catch their man cheating, it's with a lesser woman. And it's not that the woman is good or something wrong with you or we're tired of you. It's that you come with everyday life annoyance. You're not as sexy after we just had an argument about the bills, or you just was complaining about the TV channel, or why you watching TV? You've been nagging all day and now you want to have sex. We just not turned on because we know everything that come with you. Like if you walk down the street and a new man like, oh, I'm about to have sex with Paris, he gonna be excited. It's a new chick. He like, oh, she got these curves, she got this, that. Yeah, man, like she about to come in here and talk my ears off. He got a whole new. He not looking at you like a sex symbol. He looking at you by your whole package. And after we have sex, you gonna say this, and then you gonna want to go eat, and then you gonna be like, hey, we ain't been on a date in a while. Like you become a responsibility. So it's like it's not as sexy. I'm dealing with a responsibility. A new chick is just all sexual. I don't gotta ask you no questions. I don't owe you nothing. I don't have to do nothing for you. I don't know your rent, how much your rent costs. I don't know. It's so much stuff. We might have just argued about the kids 2 hours ago. Now we having sex, and it's like I'm here, but you ain't fucking with you like that.
I could get that though. I could get that because like it's like you're with that person, like you said, you know that person, and then you already know what they're gonna do after sex, and their sex is kind of predictable at some point. And I think that as women, sometimes we got to keep it fresh. And for me, I don't like to nag. I like to keep it fresh. I like to try new things in the bedroom. I don't like to keep it consistent, right? I like to kind of shock my man a little bit, with different things. And then afterwards, I'm going to sleep. I'm not sitting here, you know what I'm saying, arguing. You know what? Let's talk about tomorrow. Nah, fudge that. Because if a man put it down like he's supposed to put it down, a woman's going to sleep just like a man.
Well, listen, I'm an all-nighter. I don't usually go to sleep, right? I stay up. I got one kryptonite to going to sleep. If I don't have sex, I'm not going to bed till at least 5:30 in the morning. Every night.
Really? So sex gives you energy?
No, if I don't have sex, I'll be up from 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning. I'm up around those times.
So you have to have sex.
It's the only time I can possibly go to sleep early for the night.
Oh my
I think once I
gosh.
have sex, I think in my mind, I feel like I've accomplished my goal for the day. Like nothing better can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have nothing else to be up for. Nothing to look forward to. It's like, all right, I'm asleep. That's the only time I found myself fall asleep like 1, 12.
Oh my gosh. So Brandon Bellamy, thank you for joining us, says it's the energy. Once you give the high energy, like the first meeting without complaining or asking anything, just starting the sex without us making the move. I get it. Like guys like when women kind of make that first move. Some men like it when women are in control. Yeah. Like, come here, babe. You about to give me that. I'm about to jump them bones. I mean, a man shouldn't always make the first move all the time, but I don't think that it is okay for a woman to sleep with a man on a first night. I don't think that's cool. That's just me.
I love it, but personally, I appreciate it. But I think what he's saying, it's not so much of who makes the first move, right? Mm-hmm. It's men like to know that you want to have sex with me as much as I want to have sex with you. So sometimes, like, you know how you like to feel desire? We feel like, oh, I must have did it to you right last time for you to be wanting it that bad. Like, it's good for a woman to crave it instead of feeling like a Scooby snack. Like, okay, she's, you know, because think about it. You with a man and you live together and he paying the bills. We know you're obligated. You're going to have sex with him from time to time. But if it's like spread out.
All the time.
It should be that way. If
on the man. Go ahead.
Into your man. It's like that. Some women ain't like that. They be like, oh, they make excuses. They be like, I don't want to have sex all the time. I don't want to. It's like, do you not really, or do you not really with me? You're not all the way turned on if you like don't want to have sex. If you only want to have sex once a week, if you could miss 4 or 5 days in a row, you know what I'm saying? You should look at everything. But that goes to my point. You was like, what can women do to keep their man? I think honestly, men feel bad sometimes. Like, let's say a man could have been straight out of college and met you, right? And then he kind of settled because his range of women wasn't that high. And then he like fulfills his promise and now he's making 6 figures. And now he go out to travel and he's this wanted man. And now he sees all these fine sexual type women at home. I mean, out who want him. And then he goes home to the woman he settled for. And I think that's where men get tired of having sex with the same women. Because it's like, man, I seen this girl at the pool party when I was out in Vegas. I seen that they fantasizing about other women and they don't appreciate their woman. But if they get the woman that they actually wanted, a lot of men don't get tired of having sex. They want to go home and have sex with their woman all the time. If you got the woman you into, you don't get tired of that. That's a myth. You only get tired when you sleeping with somebody you settling with.
That's a word right there. So Maurice says you got to keep it spicy. Try something new. No boundaries. Heck no. Like, there are no boundaries. Anything that my man wants to do, he can do. Sex on demand, anything he wants to do, he can do. It does not matter. There is no boundaries. Keeping it spicy is my goal. Like, I wouldn't care what it takes. Whatever he wants, I'm going to do. Anything. Right? Huh?
When you say the word anything.
If my man tells me suck my big toe, guess what I'm doing? The big toe. Okay.
You know what? See, here's where I'm kind of a sicko. I'm not really a sicko, but just like you said, if I'm doing some wild stuff, because I got a messed up mind, I don't want to get into my daddy how I was raised. But I've been watching porn for a long time. And so by the time I turned 9 or 10, I was on a whole nother level. So sometimes I'm doing stuff and I get a little crazy. I like to be demanding and spontaneous. So let's use the example you said. If I'm doing some stuff and I'm just like, suck my toe, right? I don't really care about the feeling on my toe. I just like to be in demand. And the fact that you did it is sexy. Like, oh, you did what I asked you to do. So you get super turned on as a man. Like when you barking out orders and stuff that don't make sense to y'all, men just like to see a submissive woman in that moment doing what they asked to do. It's like a crazy turn on. Like, and I'm sure like you said, you like to keep it spicy and do whatever your man say. Like, I'm like when you were saying, what do you do to keep it spicy? And I was telling you that sometimes you know, it ain't got nothing to do with you. He might not be in the mood because y'all was arguing, or he just had to pay a bill for you, or he just had to do something for you, and he not as into it as you. I'm sure you know that some sex with your man feel like it's real intense, like it's the first time, like he's super turned on to that. And then
That's like every time it's like the first time. Go ahead.
Oh, whatever. And it's good. Sometimes it's just good. It's good, but then it's like maybe y'all went out the country or something. Y'all was on a vacation. Y'all had a real nice hotel room, and y'all was out drinking by the pool or whatever. Then y'all come in and y'all super turned on it, and it's just wow. And it's like this was different than the other night at home. It's different levels. Like sometimes it feel like your woman's a new person. Like there's no stress, and you just looking at her for the pure sexiness she is. You can remember why you came to her in the first place. You know.
Wow. I love how you said that. It's no stress. And we got to stop that, ladies. We got to stop putting stress on our men so he could, you know, feel like it's a new time all the time. But I agree with you. Sometimes it's different, right? Like you said, you may go to a nice hotel and stuff like that, and it may feel good, whatever. It may feel a little bit different, but it depends how the energy is, right? So Maria says you have to learn how to please one another. Yes, you have to learn how to please one another, but you have to consistently please that person. I mean, don't slack. Wouldn't you know that girl likes to have her booty ate? Continuously eat her booty on demand. So Brandon said head matters. It energizes us like a bunny. And your clit slurped matter too. LOL. Wait, clit slurp? Does that mean like the funny noises like the what's the clit slurp?
Brandon getting spicy. Don't be hiding behind these texts because we'll bring you on this click.
Yes, come on, Brandon. Let us talk to you.
You want to come on and share some stories?
Yes, share some stories with us. We need to know because I am so curious what a clit slurp means, right? So I know that like when men and women are having sex, it's that funny gushy noise, like especially if he's turning her all the way on. But what is a clit slurp?
I would just assume the slurping of a clit. I think it's literal.
Oh my gosh.
You see how my supporters disrespect me?
Oh my gosh. So Terrell says, show you the biggest sicko in the country. Nah, listen, I think he met his match right here because you know what I'm saying? I'm a little sicko. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm a little bit sick, but it's all good.
You ain't that real. You ain't that real.
I'm just saying.
I'm watering myself down, CD. I'm gonna explain something to you. These guys met me in college. And when you're in college, I used to never have a girlfriend. I had like 2.5 girlfriends my whole life. So I was always a single man. So I'm in college and I'm an athlete, and you know, it's a competition. Like we all talk about who get what girls, we go to the club, this, that. And so you share little stories with them. And then sometimes they bump into a girl and the girl will tell them something you done, you know, who know you. And they're like, yo, you did this, that. Or they'll be in the room when you actually do it. And they'll be like, I didn't know you really would do something like that. So it could come off a little crazy. I'm not a sicko. I got a lot of stories. So we used to sit around and tell stories, and they don't understand me because they're real conservative, you know.
Wow. So I love how you said conservative. Do men like when women are like conservative? Like, for example, a woman's like, oh, I'm not going to give you HEAD, or I'm not going to give you oral tonight because XYZ. Or do men like it when women are just like, you know what? Take it out. Let me do what I need to do. Like, that conservative stuff kind of like sets me back when it comes to some women because it's like, what are you holding back for? You was just with old boy last week. Why are you not just being yourself? Just be yourself sexually. If you like to give head, give that man some head. That's what you like to do. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to get, head. Like, stop being scary. Bust it wide open for that man if you like to bust it wide open.
I'm past that stage in life. Like when that was like 17. That was up to like age like 20, where, you just happy you getting it and you just like want it. If you're not doing it the way I want it done, I don't want to do it. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing it the way I need it, I don't want it. Like, you had too much sex now and it's just like, it's not fun. Like it's not fun. You had a certain amount of women.
What you mean too much sex now? A man could tell when a woman has too much sex?
Not her, me, the man.
Oh, the man.
Man,
okay.
If you've been a sexually active male for a lot of your life, you are fixed on how you like things now. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman like, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, you're like, well, just get out. You'll get annoyed. Like, I don't have time.
Get out of here. Bye, you fly.
Like, I won't even get hard.
My mom says, what did I miss? Nothing, mama. Keep it. This is PG.
I don't think you like this episode, the mother episode.
Yes, mom. Beat it, mom.
You
So
don't gotta be grown.
Murray says too grown to be conservative. Honestly, I do find a lot of women are still conservative and they don't want to let out their inner freak. You know, I'm okay with saying, hey, this is what I like and put my expectations up front and letting the man know exactly what I like to do. And if he's not with it, it's off with your head. I'm very, very much a pleaser, right? But I also like to be pleased. So to me, it has to be that fine balance. But I can't, at the age that I'm at now, when it comes to sexual pleasures, I can't have a man be like, listen, I don't like to give oral, or I don't like to eat booties, or all of that stuff. Beat it, because there's somebody out there that does.
It's not fun if it's unrestricted. Like nobody wants to think during that time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I already told y'all where I stand. I'm at this age. I switched over. I'd rather eat a butt than a vagina anyway. So
what? Wait a minute. Okay. Can I ask the difference? What's the difference between eating a booty and a vagina?
Ooh, let me educate America on this, because this is a topic I feel very deeply about.
Hold on. Thank you guys for joining us with Showtime in Paris. If you would like to join this conversation, please go ahead and tap in. Let us know. We can bring you up on stage. And this show is brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Network. And Show is about to go in and tell us about what is the difference.
Myself. I embarrass myself for the show.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Hold on. Let me listen.
I'm at a stage now where I've crossed over. It was like maybe 5 years ago. I would eat your butt before I eat your vagina. I would rather do it.
Wait, do you spread it open and like
whatever I want to do, whatever I want? It depends on the woman. You can put your tongue all the way in. You could just lick around the rim. You could just gnaw on the butt cheeks.
It's a rim shot. Hey, but would you eat the rim after you stuck it in the booty?
You know what's funny is you usually, usually though, how it goes. It's like a rhythm to it. Like, okay, you come out, you might, because usually you're about to hit it from the back, right? And if it's the right woman and it's got the nice shape and it just looks pretty, you'll just do it. You'll open it. You might give it a few coats. Then you go in. It's usually a pattern. You don't usually go in and then come out and start licking. But the only time you may do that is if you're about to come early. So whenever a man does that to you, whenever he stops it and goes back to tongue, he needed to break the rhythm up. That's the only reason.
Oh, I see. He has no control because he's about to be
crazy, and he need a buffer to get. I mean, he felt it about to come up a little bit, and he needed to go back down. So he wastes some more time. So, like, if you ever been in intense sex and the dude stops and pull out and start eating you out, he just got to buy some more time.
Oh my God! So let me ask you a question. This may be a little bit TMI. So do you like women eating your booty?
No.
Why?
I was about to tell you that. It's funny because I'm all restrictions off except for anything that makes me feel bisexual. We'll say I'm not into anything that makes me feel
funny.
Make me feel funny. And
so eating your booty makes you feel funny?
I'm a super masculine dude. I play football, play basketball. I'm a big brother. I'm a father. I've just always been a man in my life. And I feel like the positions even that you got to get in to enjoy it. I'm not one of those people who say if a man like his butt, he gay. But I think if he likes it fingered or something, that's a whole other story. Because you're looking for penetration. It's like, why would you even know you like penetration? But okay, that's questionable. But getting your butt, I don't go that far. Like, I don't got nothing against men who do that. I had close friends tell me that it's better than getting head. I don't agree. But it was like, man, you got to let somebody do it. It's better than getting head. You get better than that. And I'm like, first of all, I told you, I don't know if I told you, shared this with you before. I had this guy. He was like a gangster where I'm from. And he was sleeping with all these good looking women. He was like a street dude. And I was at his house and he used to videotape him. And he showed me a video. He was trying to show me that he was sleeping with all these fine women. And every video started, and I just couldn't get past it. Like, this is like a street dude. The video will come on, and he'll be standing up literally, and he'll be standing on the couch and spreading his butt, and the girl will be underneath him like this. And then he'll be on his knees, and she'll be behind him, spreading his butt, licking it, or he'll be laying down like this, and the girl will be down. And it's like, I just couldn't even see myself getting in the positions that it would take to have that go on. So it's like, it throws me off. So I don't know. It might feel good. I'm not saying it don't feel good. I just never.
So you never had your booty ate?
Accidentally.
Accidentally? When she slipped past the balls and went to the booty?
I'll tell you what happened. One thing about women, it seemed like y'all at war with straight men. So a lot of times when I slept with women, especially new women, they'll be like, if you like something, let me know. You don't got to be masculine. I'm like, okay. And then they'd be like, do you want to do it? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And they just think you lying. They'd be like, oh, I hate when guys. I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's like women like to eat butt or something. Like they keep trying to force you into it. So anyway, I had this one girl. She was a regular. And she know I'm funny.
Regular. Go ahead.
She was a regular, somebody I had sex with a lot. Wasn't really together, but it was just somebody I had sex with a lot. And she thought it was funny that I'm hyper masculine. So, women always want to be the one to break through. So she was like, oh, I'm going to eat your. She'll always like fake like she'll do it. She'll lick under the balls and lick like right between that area.
Yeah, is it called your gooch?
Yeah, they call that gooch.
Okay,
They call it the gooch.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll lick right there and then she'll peek up. I'm like, don't play. And it was like a running joke.
So she could be like,
yeah. I'm like, you good right there, but don't play. And she's like, I'm like, don't play. So one day, I guess she was doing the gooch, and I don't know if I was drinking. I don't know if we had sex. I don't know if she was just like giving head too long. I fell asleep, and I woke up. That's the honest guy I tell. I woke up, and she was like in there, like she was intense, like she was licking, like in the yeah, like a dog when they drinking water out the bowl. I'm like, yo. So I wake up. Now, mind you, like I never felt this. I don't know. This ain't nothing that happens in my life. It's not familiar. So
she stick her tongue in your booty?
I don't know. Maybe when I was asleep. I know she was licking in there though. Like she was licking up and down in there. I felt the tongue in there. And she licking. And I woke up and my reflexes, I didn't even know it was her. I just said, ah. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I like snapped out. Because you felt violated. Like I never felt that. I'm like, what the fuck, somebody looking at my head? So after I slapped her, I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So I'm looking like, oh, she looking at me all crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is you doing? And she was like, I thought you was up. I was like, hell no, I wasn't up.
I mean, shorty, if he was up, he would be moaning and everything. Look at that booty.
I said, when she said, I thought you was up, I was like, how long you been doing that? She was like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I was like, I can't even go my life without saying I never got my butt ate because 15 minutes of it definitely happened.
Yeah, like, that's a long time to be eating somebody's booty. Your butt had to be drippy, soggy, wet.
It was like sick going down my balls all through my, and I'm like, the bed was wet under me. My ass was wet. And that's why I knew, because when I woke up, it was so intense. Like she was like, how when a man start off, they might like do a little rotating tongue thing on the clit. They might do this or that. But if they going in, it get all sloppy. And it's like, yeah, she was in that thing. It's like, were you just putting on? Like, were you intense? And I'm like, that's like a dead body. I'm like, you was doing that to a dead end body? Like, what? 10 to 15 minutes? She was like, yeah, I thought you was woke. I was like, how the fuck you thought I was woke?
Surprised she didn't give you no hickey in there. But Brandon says ice will make us melt. That is the first time I heard that. So I gotta try that. I mean, ice will make a man melt. Like, all right, so a woman's supposed to put some ice in her mouth, and then she's supposed to give the oral sex while I've never done that before. So I mean, how do you guys feel about ice? And women, do you guys use ice? I heard of using cough drops or something like that, but ice?
I never got into the gadgets. I feel like it's cold and it's gonna make my dick shrink. Like, why would I want some cold?
You got a point. You got a point.
I used to think people who say that just want to get the head. You know how, like, you talking to a woman and she'd be like, I'm gonna put some ice in my mouth. I just think you used to play along, like, oh yeah, but basically you just saying,
put some ice in your mouth, baby.
Yeah, like you just saying what it takes to get your dick in the mouth. I'm thinking, like, why would I really want ice on my dick? But I never did it, so I can't speak on it.
Oh my gosh. So Brandon says that's against the law. We don't even like the shits shaking my head or shower in that area. We don't like the shits or shower in that area. So when you shower, you don't wash your ass, Brandon? Is that what you're saying? I'm confused.
Answer this question wisely.
Brandon, I don't understand what you're saying. It's against the law. We don't even like, taking shit, shaking my head, or shower area, or shower in area. You don't like, guys do like taking poops. Like, I know that's a little bit of TMI, but Brandon, come on now. Now is a little bit much. So Brandon says, Dominique says, dead. Money says, cool with cough drops, but pass on the ice. Man,
Yeah, I ain't nice.
I think that there is, just like women, we like a lot of toys. There are a lot of sex toys and stuff that men are into and that they can use, right? Men, I know if y'all single, y'all probably get tired of jerking your penis. Hold on. I don't really like to say the word penis. I know y'all get tired of jerking your cock with your fucking hand. Like, get yourself some toys. That's normal to like play with some toys with your cock.
Let me get myself some women. But how about this? Who likes to record? What record is a record thing? A yay or a nay for y'all? Like, have you ever
Curious to
recorded?
know. And guys, if you want to join this conversation, if you want to come up, definitely let us know. We can tap you in. But I am all for recording, right? So, because I want my man to be able to go back and watch how steamy and intimate we were. So I am so with recording. Now, if it's somebody that I'm just dating and it's not that serious, you ain't recording Sugar Honey Iced Tea. But if we're in a serious relationship, you know what I'm saying? And I know you're not about to go show your homeboys my video, record away, my guy. You can even do a close-up shot. Whatever you need to do what you got to do. Let's make a whole video, baby.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have an archive that was started back in the great days of 1997, baby.
Oh my God, you've been sexing for a minute. Your cock got miles on it. Go ahead.
I won't even tell you the first age I was when I did something sexual. This is really
That thing
embarrassing.
got miles on it, ladies. His thing got miles
Watch
on
your
it.
mouth. Watch your mouth. It gets renewed every time
He
you watch.
had to replace his transmission on his penis.
Listen, watch your mouth. She's lying. Listen to this. So, I was recording since camera phones had a camera, right? So, this was probably like, I'll say I got my first camera phone in like 99, right? Maybe 99. I used to record everything. Like, if it's a woman, I'll say 99% of women I slept with since 1999. Maybe 2001. I had on camera. It's maybe like,
Ladies, y'all are on camera and don't even know it. Go ahead.
no, they did know it. I ain't no sneak camera. It
Oh,
was the camera phone. It was right here. It was like this. So it wasn't no camera. It wasn't no. It was there. You know. So anyway,
I don't know. Go ahead.
not you know, the woman knows.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they it's natural. It's like it's an art to it. You gotta show men. Let me give you some pointers, men, on how to get the camera, how to get a woman on camera, because it takes a lot of heart, because you don't know what they're gonna say, how they're gonna feel about it. You can't do it like you're suggesting it, because then you make them feel like it's something creepy about it, or they should say no, or you got to do it confidently. You got to be in the middle of it. You got to be in the middle of the story. Got to be high passion, and then you just be like, "Oh, I need this." And you just pull it out, and they'll perform for the camera. They'll intensify. Most of them, if they're giving head, they don't want to look bad on camera, so they want to make sure if anything was to go wrong, or if you was to watch this, they look good doing it. So it usually makes it better. Or if you're giving back shots, they usually arch their back a little better, and they usually put on a good performance for this here camera. But anyway, I had a file that was started in like 2000. And every time I sleep with a woman, it's like, because I never had a girlfriend up to that point, ever. I was just always single. So I never, usually only sleep with a girl once or twice. That's how my life was going. So I used to always get the footage.
Once or twice, and it was on to the next?
I never had a girlfriend. Like, so I went to college in 2001. I ended up going to like 4 or 5 colleges. And then I played arena football in like 3 or 4 different places. So I was always traveling. So usually I'll go to a place that nobody knows me in the world. That'd be like if you just picked up and went to Indiana. Nobody knows you. So I don't have a girlfriend. I got to meet multiple women. So anytime I want to have sex, I would have to meet a new woman, because I know nobody here. And then I'll be there for like 2 months, and then I'll go somewhere else to Texas. Then I have to meet a woman in Texas. Then I'll go to Green Bay, and I got to meet a woman in Green Bay. Then I'll go to Ohio. I got to meet a woman in Ohio. So that's how my life always been. So I never really had regulars. I might have had like, in my whole life, I might have had like 4 women that I slept with more than once. It was always, if I wanted sex, I had to find a new woman. I never had, and I don't like to lie to women either. So like when they get to that point where they feel like you taking advantage of them, like they want more, and I know I'm not going to give them more, I'll just cut it off for them. I'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it ain't going nowhere. So either they can keep doing it or they don't want to, but I won't string you along. So if it become more annoying to me than beneficial, I'll just end it. So because of that, I had a folder I used to send stuff to all the time. I had this folder because I was scared I was going to lose my phone or the phones would get outdated. So I would go on my Yahoo And I had this big folder I would just send all my videos to over the years. And as I got older, iPhone created the calculator app. I don't know if it's just iPhone, but it's a calculator app. And then I started using everything updated from 2010 and up is on the calculator app now. So it's like locked away where it can never get out. But if I'm bored or I'm on a long road trip, I'm on a flight, or if I'm in the house by myself and I'm lonely, I just click on it sometime and reminisce.
Yeah, I hear that. Calculator app. Go ahead.
Yeah, recording is really good. Men, get yourself a calculator app, because if you're single, you don't want to lose your phone and be scared that all your crazy things are in there. Then it gets exposed and some woman thinks you exposed them. Like, you need protection. It's a calculator app. You put a code in, everything pops up. It's nice and safe. If you lose your phone, can't nobody get in it. And it doesn't look suspicious, so nobody will even notice it. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But I'm all for recording because I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting in the moment, and it's always good. Even you and the woman, y'all can sit back and look at it together. I think recording is the shit.
I mean, I could agree with you, right? So if I have a camera on me, I'm definitely overperforming, right? I mean, to the point where I might take the whole penis off because I'm so into it, right?
You have to put that back on. You might need that.
So, I mean, I could agree with you. Like, the camera makes you want to perform more. But my thing is, I'm not going to be with a man and I'm sleeping with you for the first time and all of this stuff. And I'm seeing you pull a camera out and I'm like, oh, this turns me on. HE double hockey sticks. No, like, you can't record it. Now, that's one restriction that I do have. And I'm not into sending nudes either. Like, I will not send a nude. I'm completely confident and secure with my body, but I'm not sending on nudes. Like, dude, no. I could send something with some cute little lingerie on, but I'm not sending on nudes.
We can see that on Facebook. We need it personal. Well, at least, at the worst, a thong bikini with the cheeks out is what we need here.
Thong bikini with the cheeks out.
Gotta have the cheeks out at least. If the string is just, we need at least we'll settle for the string going through the ass, and then you bent over, you can see like all cheeks. That's cool. We'll wait for the rest. But you gotta have at least. But because you know why? If y'all busy or y'all working or y'all in different cities, you gotta give somebody, like, you're flirting when you talk over a certain amount of time, right? Then the guy starts visualizing it. Then he gets kind of excited. So he just needs something to hold him off. So that's where the picture comes in. They be like, well, let me see this, that. Once they get that, they like, all right, I need to speed this time up before she gets uninterested to meet another guy. Like, I need her to get wherever she's at. So like that picture pushes the time up on the meeting. And
yeah, but my man knows exactly what I look like in a thong bikini and all of that stuff. Why would he need it in his phone?
Wait, time out. I thought we was talking casually about a man meeting a woman and they just talking and they meet up. Yeah, man, if I say give me a picture, you better not turn my picture request down.
No, if he asked me, listen, baby, give me a picture with a thong bikini on, I'm sending it to him within 0.5 seconds. But I'm not just casually just about to sit here and take a picture of my booty with a thong in it. Like, I mean, I may do a little screenshot or, like, you know, tongue out or something like that, but I'm just not like, boop. You know, but when my man come home, if he like, yo, sit up on the counter and he take it with his phone, that's one thing. But I'm not casually. First of all, that's a difficult angle to be taking a picture of your booty like that.
You know what? I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't ask for a woman my woman for a picture of their butt, because I already got. If you're my woman, I got 1 million sex videos of you on my phone. So I don't. It's not just one. I got enough sex videos for a year of you. So it's like, I don't need to see your butt. Like, sometimes you want to surprise me and send it, that's cool. But I would rather actually, in the situation where I'm involved, I would actually take the picture for myself. It's more sexy.
Right.
Like, and I told you to like turn around. I just pulled my camera out and took a phone. I think that's better than you sending it. Unless I'm on like a road trip or I'm working out of town or I'm going somewhere and I miss you and I'm like, hey, that's cool. You know, send a little picture, hold you over. Or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I would rather take it myself. But you gonna send me a picture. We together, you gonna send me a picture. Actually, if I talk to you over a week, you gonna send me a picture. I don't care.
Honestly, it takes a little bit, right, for some women to open up. Yes, there's no restrictions, but I think that like sex and being intimate with somebody should be very, very special. I'm not into like the one night stands or none of that type of stuff. Or, you know, I'm not saying that I'm not an adult or, you know, I've never done anything like that, but I was saying I'm not into that type of stuff. But for my significant other, It is on and popping. You want me to be anything you want me to be, anything you could imagine, I'm doing, I'm being for you. You know what I
See, and
mean?
that's where in that situation, men will not. Your man will always be excited with you. He'll be happy to come home to you. He'll be happy to see you. He'll be happy to that's where it don't get boring. Like you don't want to come home. A restricted woman is gonna get cheated on. Like
I
because
agree.
especially nowadays, the world's getting so crazy. Like the world over sexualized. Like music, TV, everything, and then you got IG. And who wants to come? Especially a successful man. So your man, with more success, obviously comes more options. So it's like, why would he come home and have this restricted sex, knowing that some other woman looks at him like a damn god and she'll do whatever for him?
Hell yeah. I
Like,
agree.
why would he want to? It's like you're penalizing yourself. You got one life and you're gonna be with this girl for the rest of your life. So you're gonna come home and be having this boring sex, and you can go out and get a threesome somebody with two other new girls. You can do this. Like, why would I prohibit myself from getting a threesome that I know I can get just to appease you, and you're not even appeasing me?
Right, right. So Jay Gray is tuning in from YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Miss Paris is soaking in everything. You saying with the okay look. But Jay Gray, I agree with Show, right? Because my man is very successful, and I know that women probably throw their selves at him, and I'm like, whatever he wants, I will do. And my man is not going to have a boring sex life. I'm telling you, if my man wants me on a handstand when he comes home from work, just sitting there on a handstand, I'm in that handstand. So I agree with you. That stuff, especially when you think that man owes you something or he's obligated to be faithful to you. Heck no. There are women thirst trapping over your man. So my man be like, baby, you know what? I want you on a split with no clothes on, boobies hanging, with a wine glass in your hand when I come home from work. Even if I don't know how to do a split, I'm learning. And I'm splitting on the flow and on him. You know what I'm saying?
And she might only had a glass because, as y'all seen earlier, she's usually out of wine. When she was dumping it, she had a last drop in. So by the time we get home, she might not have no wine, but at least she'll be going through the motions.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, with so much pressure out there, like, people think men are historically cheaters and they cheat all the time anyway. So don't push them over the edge. Like, if a man leaves your house satisfied, he usually not thinking about sex. So it's harder for him to cheat. But if every time he leaves the house unsatisfied, it's still on his mind because he hasn't accomplished his goal for the day. He hasn't climaxed for the day. So when he sees a woman, sex is on his mind. Like when he sees a good-looking woman walk by, he's like, damn, he's looking at her. He might flirt a little bit. But if you just came straight out of having good sex with your woman, you're not thinking about sex when you walk out your house. So you're more liable to walk straight past a woman.
So that's so crazy because, a woman, like, I'm just saying myself, I really can't speak for other women because I don't know. Honestly, I could have sex like 6-7 times a day and be okay. You get what I'm saying? So if you're satisfying that man and he's leaving the house not thinking about sex, I can't do that. If I'm having sex in the morning and I'm leaving, going to work, on my way to work, I'm thinking about, damn, when I get home, I'm about to get me some sex. I'm like a dude in a lot of ways, but sex is on my mind like nonstop, and it's a little weird, but I love it, and my man loves it, so it's just like whatever.
If you need that kind of woman, if you want to be faithful, like you don't want to negotiate sex. It's a turn off. Like you don't want to get to the point.
We have sex tonight.
Yeah, or it's been 2 days. Like when you debating it constantly, like we haven't had sex since Tuesday. It's Thursday, and even if she say, "All right, let's have sex," that's not sex. The sex is automatically trash because I had to negotiate.
Yeah,
you want to have sex because you want to feel like two people are turned on, and then it just happened. You don't want to feel like you said the right thing and like, okay, it's Tuesday. After I cook this dinner at 9:32 p.m., we can have sex. Like that's not sex. So at 9:32, I got to be hard. You want to have sex when you feel turned on. You want it to be natural. You don't want to be a specific time. You don't want to feel like we got to be having it 3 times a week. You want to feel like it just happens spontaneously. We're watching Netflix and then I look over at you and I grab you and then you just all for it. Like whenever the man reach out for you, you will hope that the woman is like, just like you want it. Like if you laying there with your man and you just start doing whatever you're doing, you want him to just go with it and be excited. You don't want to feel like you making them do it or they doing you a favor. That's not good. It's already going to be bad.
So I got a question though. This is my question, because for me, I know that some women can't handle a man that wants sex around the clock, but I'm a woman that wants sex around the clock. Like, I want to wake up to sex, I want to go to sleep to sex, I want sex for breakfast, sex for lunch, everything. And do you think most men, that's kind of a turn off for some men, like that a woman is just like, goodness, so like her sexual peak is so high, and as I get older, I'm just like, goodness, it's getting worse, it's getting worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that a turn off for some men?
No, not if the man has an equally sex drive, or some men are insecure. It's all depends on how the man take it. If he feels like that the woman's acting like that because she wants my sex that much, like she's really into me, you might be tired, you might be whatever, but you still gonna get it done because you still appreciate that. Now, if you feel like the woman wants to keep having sex because you didn't satisfy her, and she like, I need more sex, that put pressure on men. And sometimes, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you had sex with a man, he came kind of quick, and you're like, all right, you ready? And then he can't get hard again. And he like, you still ain't hard. Once you start talking to him like that, he gets in his own head, and then you won't get hard again. You'll just be sitting there, and you're like, oh damn, I'm failing. She's judging me, and then you can't even get hard because you can't get. If it was just natural and y'all laid down and watched the TV and then it just happened, but if you just like, all right, you ready? It's been 20 minutes. Oh, like some girls get annoyed and stuff like that. So it's all depends on how you feel about it.
I'm not doing that. I'm not like, it's 20 minutes, it's 30 minutes. If I want it, I want it. I will pull the pants down and take it if I want it.
A woman can get you back excited if they just do it the right way. Like, if you want a man sexually turned on, then turn him on.
But I don't like that. Like you said, oh, it's been 20 minutes. Don't put unnecessary pressure on a man. If he's soft, get that man hard by doing something strange for whatever it is that you want. I wouldn't put that unnecessary, hurry up and get hard. Nah, I mean, do what you got to do to turn that man on. Even if it's like doing something unusual that you would not normally do in the bedroom, turn that man on.
You know what usually works with situations like that?
I'm listening.
You don't do regularly, right? Like, you can give, even if it is regularly, like you can suck him off and maybe he'll get hard, but it's usually a spot that, like, if you lick men nipples for some reason, because I talk to men, they never want to admit that's a spot that men don't like to admit. But if you talk to a man one-on-one, they're like, I ain't gonna front. Men like they nipples licked for some reason.
Do they like them licked or sucked?
Licked. I think it tickles enough where it like triggers something down to your stuff and you just get hard. Or licking balls, like you can suck the thing, but if you like lick around the balls, it's like something extra. It visually looks nasty, and you just went out the ordinary. So it's like a spot that ain't been messed with as much as your normal spots. So it's like a new sensation. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't think that's gross though. Like, it's all game, right? When that person is for you, you can lick any spot on that person's body. I like the nipple.
That's what's good about being in a relationship, because that woman is yours or that man is yours, and you should feel free to do whatever the hell you want. Like, it don't matter.
Like, lick his armpits?
Whatever you want. You can lick toes, armpit, whatever. I don't think nobody can judge you. If it's your woman or it's your man, like, who cares?
I agree. But then some guys be like, oh, I ain't never do this to nobody before, but know how to eat booty like they're a pro or something like that. It is okay. You know?
I know guys, when I was in high school or college, not high school because everybody was in denial then, but when I was in college, my boy had a whole slogan, ass to coochie. He used to purposely lick from ass first all the way to the coochie. That was his thing. And he used to only do it with like thick girls with fat asses, but that was his thing.
So a slim, thick chick would not get her butt ate?
Yeah, she would. You had to have an ass pretty much. You could be slim. You could be, as long as you had a nice little curve or you was pretty, he doing it. He wanted to do it. It wasn't even for her pleasure. Like, it turned him on to lick a girl's ass all the way down to her coochie. One long lick. He said he start every sex with one long lick from her ass to the coochie.
Yeah. So let's talk about personal pleasures while we're there. Do you tell your personal pleasures up front, or is this something that you don't tell and you just kind of do it? Like, or how do you handle personal pleasures?
Me, I know that some shit I say sounds sick. So, for instance, I think I might have spit in every woman's mouth since 2001. Mm-hmm. And if I tell you in advance, like, when we get really into it, I'm gonna spit in your mouth, you're probably like, hell no. Especially if we just talking over the phone. You don't want to say that to people. But usually people, it's sort of like when you tell somebody when a dude be in the streets and he be like, I ain't no snitch, and then he get caught and then he snitch. In that moment, you can't say what you're gonna do in the moment. So there's no point in even bringing it up. Like if some dude was just talking to you in the beginning and he's like, hey Paris, when I'm hitting you from the back, I want to put my foot by your face and I want you to suck my toe at the same time. You're like, hey, suck your damn toe. Now if you with your husband, if he doing it and he be like, suck my toe, you're just gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
That's the rapport, but it's not a conversation thing. It's a mood thing. And you got to know, if you're not having good sex, you can't do wild stuff. Like, you can't be trying to get your toe sucked during mediocre sex. You can't be trying to spit in no girl's mouth during mediocre sex. She's already halfway there. She's not even turned on. Now you just turned her off. It's like in the beginning of the show when you got up and walked off. If you try something crazy at the wrong time, you're going to kill the mood. If you pull a camera out on the girl and it's not great sex, you can't be having regular sex and pull your camera out. She got to be out of her mind where whatever you do doesn't matter. She's just turned on. Like, I don't care. She's not even paying attention to that damn phone. She's like, I don't give a damn. I just don't want this moment to stop. That's
how do you know if she's faking it or not? Because some girls know how to fake that moment real good. Or that, you know what I'm saying? Some girls know how to act real good when they having sex. How does a man know? Like, yo, I ain't really turning this girl on. She's like faking the front.
Because you had sex enough. Unless you were a new guy to sex, you've been through all of this, man. Like, you can't fake a real connection. Like, it's like, you know how you watch porn and the girl be like,
all the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, all the time. So a girl, you like, okay, she doing this for the porn. Mm-hmm. But when you watching it and you see the certain body language and the certain movement, like, you can't fake a good time. You can over exaggerate it, and that's corny. You like, oh, she's acting. You know, an actor from somebody who really into the sex. Like, it's a passion thing. It's a connection. It's not so much that you're moaning or something. It's like you're like in it. Like, you want it. You like, it's a passion they do things with. Like, let's say you're doing that. If you're having sex with a girl from the back and it's going crazy and you pull out, that girl gonna get mad. She gonna grab your shit. Put
that back in.
Yeah, that's not faking. They're like, oh, you about to mess my thing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they into it. It's not like, oh, okay, we'll put it back in at your own discretion. You know when somebody's fully engaged. You're like, no. Like, that means it was working for you. You know, or if they turn around and they're like, oh, I need this to get where it gotta be, and they start passionately giving you head because they need it back to that moment quick, then you know that we're in the moment. Like, it's not a one-way street. You know,
oh my goodness. So Jay Gray says, if you both are into each other and the chemistry is real, anything is possible. I agree. You are going to do anything if you are into that person and you have that chemistry. I mean, it's all open game at that point. I mean, you spitting in that person's mouth, you licking that person's ear, whatever it is you want to do, that person's gonna let you do.
You don't care because it's a whole sexual. That's another unlocked sexual thing. You're not having real sex to me unless you like, if you still like, oh, this is nasty, oh, this is that. It's not real sex. Like, when you having crazy sex with somebody you're attracted to, everything's sexy on them. Everything. You don't care about, just like women, I notice, like, when they're really into their man, they don't think nothing's nasty. Like, you can come on their face, you could come down their throat, you could do it, and they'll make it look good and make it look attractive, and they think it tastes amazing because they just in the moment. You know, it's like, it's damn near like you poured Kool-Aid down their throat. Like, that's how you know if a girl is in their right mind. If you're just having sex and then you do something wild, like come in their mouth, like, oh, and they run to the bathroom, they're like, they wasn't really in the moment. They were just pretending and getting it going. But if you having sex with a woman that's like all the way there, they would whatever. Like, however you finish, wherever you put it, wherever it goes, you'll know.
Let's talk about hygiene in sex, right? So I think it's so nasty. Like, if you having sex and the man is like all sweating and the sweat is dripping all over you, or
you look like somebody who likes a sweaty man.
Well, my man, I don't have that issue.
That over you, sweat in your eye and shit.
No, that is so unattractive. But how do you stop that? And this is crazy. But I'm not the type of woman. It takes a lot for me to sweat. Do you guys think it's attractive when a woman is like riding you or something and she's like sweating, just dripping everywhere? Is that cool? Does that mean she's putting in work? What does that like? What does it resemble? Like, what does it say?
It's a case by case basis. If we feel like you're sweating because we having like an intense session, then men don't care. You just going all for it. It's like you sweating. You like, oh, men don't care. It's like a visual, and it's like, oh yeah, she working. We don't care about that sweat. If it's like pretty much like I said with y'all, if a man pull out a camera during mediocre sex, you're like, what the damn camera away? Or if he spit on you, like, don't be spitting in my mouth. But like a woman, if she's sweating and it's mediocre, we like, what you sweating for? We ain't even, you're already mad that it ain't what you thought it was, and then you sweating all hard. You're like, what you sweating for? But if you intense and it's feeling good, we're not thinking about no damn sweat. We don't care.
Yeah, I ain't with the sweat stuff, and I'm not with the hygiene either. A man has to take a shower before you sexing me. Not saying you can't come home from work. As long as you smell okay, I'm cool. But I can't have no like funky man.
So
like,
you mean to say like if a man can't go play ball and be drenched in sweat and then come home and he just like, hey baby, just grab you up. Because some men get a kick out of that, like yeah, I'm sweaty, I ain't at my freshest, but my woman's still going,
I can't do that. I can't do that.
When I got older, I don't like it though for myself. Like when I got older, and my mom used to always say I act like a bee when it comes to showers because I take like 2-3 a day, and I stay in there for like an hour. That's just me. It's my happy place. I go in the bathroom. I stay in for an hour.
That's not wrong with that. Not wrong. But I used to see this guy. I used to date him, and he used to like smell my stuff when I just came home from work, or eat my stuff without me taking a shower. I was cool with it because I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? He wanted that little twang. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want no clean coochie. He wanted that after work coochie, or that coochie with a little twang to it.
See, he's the intense version of me. You remember when I said I'm a realist and I like natural stuff? He don't like perfect stuff. He don't want you to come home, get in the shower. He thinking like right here, right now, we just gonna get it, however it is. He wanted authentic. He don't want you to always be fresh. He don't want you to always. He was so. But that shows how attracted he was to you, though. Like, he didn't care. Like, he's instantly so attracted to you. He didn't want to wait. Because if you came home and then you got in the shower, it killed his mood. He like, I've been waiting for you all day. He wants you right when you come through the door.
Yeah, as soon as you come through the door, drop it. And you like, what the crap? I ain't even washed. So what? Legs in the air. I'm like, dang.
Men do hate that, though. Like, men hate when you got to be a certain way. It's funny because we hope you're always fresh and all that, but it's life. Somebody's not always fresh. You might have done this. You might have had, who knows what the reason is. But then when the girl stops, you be like, hold on, let me get in the shower. You like, oh, you killed the mood.
Yeah.
Men never want to hear, hold on, or let me do this first.
Hold on. Let me take a shower. Let me douche real quick. Nah. Give me that thing how it is.
And it's like, even if it ain't the freshest, maybe I won't eat you out today. But they still want to have the sex. Like, it don't matter. I'm about to hop in the shower anyway. Like, just do it. We get in the shower. Like, I know.
So do you think that after sex, every woman should take a shower? Or say, for example, if a man ejaculates in a woman, right? And it's all dripping down. You think she should go handle that afterwards? Or what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that?
I come to realize that every woman's hygiene is different. Some women can have sex a lot of times and they just stay kind of fresh. Like, that's just. But if it gets a little crazy for you, then get in the shower. That's how I judge mine. Like if I felt a little sweaty before and I did it, now I know my stuff is like really sweaty. I can't lay there with sweaty balls and I gotta get in the shower. I like to feel fresh. I take a shower before I do the podcast every day. Like, literally, I be late sometimes because like I hop out the shower, I lotion, I get dressed, I put my cologne on. I'm not going nowhere for the rest of the night. I spray myself and then I sit down and do the podcast. I don't like doing nothing fresh. I lift before I go lift weights, I take a shower. Before I go play basketball, I take a shower.
So you take a shower before you have sex?
Accidentally. Not like like if I took a shower in the morning and then I was like in Miami and if I was to go out and I met a girl, I'm not gonna come in the house, take a shower, then have sex. I took a shower for the day. But if we're like hanging throughout the day, I like to feel fresh before I do anything. So usually if I've done something, I'm not too far removed from a shower. If you seeing me, I'm fresh out the shower, pretty much.
Yeah.
When I'm outside, I took a shower within the last hour or two.
You wanna know what's crazy? Like after sex, I like to wash my man after sex. Like I don't want him to be like laying there. I like to actually wash him, like bring him to wash him. And to me, it's kind of like an attractive thing. It's not saying I want to wash my fragrance or my smell off of him or nothing like that. I just like to like solely like handle the job. Like I feel like I didn't do what I was supposed to do if I don't wash him up afterwards. Even though I'll hop right back on it afterwards, I just want to like, it's something about that, like that coming to America thing where, you washing your man and all of that. To me, it's like that turns me on and it's a part of being intimate.
that's the next level. Like most women who are really good at sex, it's like they kind of know. Like even if it's a new woman, like you'll have sex, they'll get up, they'll come back with the little warm rag with the little soap, and they just clean you up and freshen you up. Because once you fresh, you'll be amazed that it makes you want to have sex again. Like once you refresh yourself, it's kind of like you get a new vigor about it. Like, okay, I'm ready for round two. It makes you ready. Like somebody just washed under your stuff, got you all fresh again. When you land in the same sweat sometimes, you're like, all right, it's like a reminder that you've done your job and it's over. But when you get back fresh again, you kind of like, all right, time to get back wet again.
So I want to jump into oral sex, and you let me know, if this is pushing time here because we are over. But let's kind of jump into oral sex.
Our sponsors will understand.
Okay. So let's talk about how if we're giving you guys oral sex, right? And the sheets are like soaking wet after us giving you oral sex. Do you guys feel like, man, she ain't put enough spit in it, or she a little dry, or you know what I'm saying? How y'all feel about that?
The spit thing, people say that it's not really, men got these fake rules, but it's not really that. It's the passion and the effort, It's just usually when a woman's getting real wild and sloppy, it's usually wet. If a woman's being conservative and they just like putting a little tongue on the top or a coating, then it's usually dry. So the dry and wet thing is subjective. It's not like we need the bed to be leaking and this and that. It's just that usually when a woman's going all out and they gagging, it's just usually it's a lot of spit involved. But I don't want you just spitting all over me and doing all this just to make it seem like it's wet. We just want you to do it intensely, which usually means it's a lot of spit or with a lot of whatever. Like some men, like I don't, because just in a vacuum, I don't want you to just grab my shit and spit all over it. Like, but if you're doing a great job and some spitting coming with that, then that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure you don't want a man just open your vagina and slob all on or spit all on it constantly. But if he's pleasing you,
actually, I do. I want you to open it up and do a little spit move, like.
I've known women. I've been in women minds for years. I know what they want. I know what y'all desire, even if y'all don't say it, or I just desire it, and it just happens to work for me. But
I think the spit is good, right? Especially if a girl, like if her gag game is good, you know what I'm saying? And she trying to really handle that thing, girl, spit, choke, slob, do whatever it takes. And if them sheets is wet, you handle business. And they could be wet from your saliva and they could be wet from his cum. Like whatever it is, them sheets ain't wet or he ain't wet, the job wasn't handled. Don't get up dry, ladies.
I wanted to ask y'all a question too. Women who, if anybody who's going to watch this, who've done any bisexual acts as women, what if you, I don't know if some of y'all ever used a strap or if y'all ever had an encounter where a woman used a strap on you, does it feel, I'm imagining like women are at an advantage if they're using a strap on a girl, because so I can see sometime besides all the other stuff outside of it, the sex part should be better with a strap, because if a man can stay at the size you want without no risk of getting soft, and he can do whatever pattern he wants because he can't come, that means you get the right size dildo and you get somebody who know how to stroke how you like it. They can do this for however you need it to go. It's
hours?
Yeah, men might take a break because they might be about to come or they might be getting soft or it might be getting, but if you just got a dildo that's going to stay that size and they can hump forever. And I think that's how some bisexual women who sleep with other women, they be bragging like I do it to it better than you, and it's like you should, because if I was using a fake dick, I'll be the greatest sex person of all time.
Right. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna say, I do it to her better because I'm using a strap on or something like that, because I've been in that situation. But it does give us like a badge of honor, right? It's like whatever. I could take care of your girl all night. But for me, I think it's the more of the mental thing, like, oh, my penis ain't gonna get hard because it's a strap on, you know what I'm saying? And then it's more so like just the act of it is just like, I'll be in the thing all night if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and I would say both are very, very good. And I think men got to come twice as hard. I don't know about you guys on the other end or the audience, but I think that men, y'all got to step it up a little bit, because women, we have stuff to satisfy us. And some women like to be in control. They like to show other women that, you know what I'm saying, I'm with the sugar honey iced tea and I'll hold it down.
That's where a man being a man comes in, because you can't One thing you can't do is be a man. You can't bring the man aura to the room.
I
Now,
can't.
they might like a woman's aura, so it don't matter. But you can't really replace me. Like the stuff I'm gonna do, the way a man might grab you. If you into what a man does, you might can get the stroke down because you got the strap or whatever.
Yes, I can. The stroke is down pat.
You can't dominate. You can't. It's not the same. You got little things.
It's not the same, but some women like a feminine touch better, right?
Yeah,
because it's more softer, it's more gentle, whatever it may be. I mean, it's different, right? And it has its balance. So Jay Gray says Miss Paris is a character. Miss Paris is definitely a character, and I'm very transparent. So it is what it is. I love being me. So Jay Gray says not true. I don't think that a woman can be a man, so to say, like you said, but I do think a woman can please another woman with ease to make a woman not want another man.
That's what I was saying, because no matter what you say, they are a woman, so they know what women like. Mm-hmm. They know the spots that feel good. They know a woman's body should be better than you because they're a woman. So they know what they're aiming for. What we don't know how it feels when somebody's inside of you. Like a woman would know. They know what spots to turn you on. So they got a distinct advantage for women who's into women.
Right, right.
I think you just got to do your job as a man. Like, don't worry about how a woman feel with a woman, because you can never be a woman dealing with another woman. You can only be a man dealing with a woman.
I say with the woman and a woman being together and they're using a strap on, if you will, the strap on has no feeling. So it's a mental thing. You got to be like in your mind, like, yo, there's some good PUSSY, not even knowing that it's really good, or I'm tearing this stuff out the frame, or, you know what I'm saying? So it's more of a mental thing. And I think being intimate, period, is more of a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those thoughts that this is about to be good. A man could have a very, very small penis and it be good to a woman.
Oh, wait. Very, very, not small or very small. Very, very small. That's like 3 inches.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been with a very, very small guy. I've never been with a very, very small guy, but a man can be very small and still kind of please a woman.
If a woman's really into it. Well, studies show that you only need like 2.5 inches to really please a woman.
2.5 inches? Come on now. Nobody wants.
But who studies? But,
But honestly, let's talk about sizes. Honestly, I wouldn't prefer a man with a large penis. Like, come on, bro. You don't need all of that. What you need that for?
See, that's the thing. When you say small to you, might not be small to this person. So let's put it in from a woman's perspective. What's your small to your too large? So give the inches on your what's like, this is too far, ain't no way I can get no pleasure out of this. So this is too big, I don't want it. What's your limit?
Like 8 inches is like too big. Too small is like 4 inches.
So you're in between 4 to 8 is perfect. Is the gold mine for you.
I like a grower. I like someone that's a grower. Like, you can start off whatever and then you grow.
That's true. I realize that women not good at inches though, because most men at some point in their life, usually when they start having sex, like 12, 13, because you hear women like, I don't want no man with no small. So you start wondering like, where I fit in at. So you hear the little inches thing and you might go take your ruler but you cheat, you put it all under your balls and add extra, and you even lie to yourself. Yeah, men lie to you.
Y'all taking rulers and putting them under your balls?
If you put every man on a lie detector test, this ain't nothing you do as a grown man, but when you was at middle to high school, you've done it before.
You had the ruler, Nick. Like, you've put the ruler under your penis before.
Yes. Guaranteed. 7 out of 10 men has done that before. Or more. Especially if you
This is a first for me hearing this.
Yeah, because when we was little kids, men used to debate this, like, oh, I got this, I got that, and y'all niggas that. So you wanted to know. So men would go in the bathroom. I know men used to do it on school time. Go in the bathroom, like, I'll be back. Like, they was arguing with other men. I'm 8, I'm 7.5. And dudes were like, you started under your balls. And they'd be like arguing about that. Like, that was how it was where I was from. Like, men would come out, that's when we was young, 10 to like 15.
Wow. Jake Gray says, whether it's a man or woman, you have to know what you're doing, unless you're just trying to do a quick drive-by. I agree. You got to know what you're doing, whether you're a woman with a strap on or a man with a strap. You got to know what you're doing.
I always wondered, like, I hear women say, this man had a nice size, the size they like, but he wasn't good at sex. I'm like, if you have the size that they like, how can you ruin this?
Because they don't know how to move their middle section. Their middle section is just like I don't know. They just don't know how to move it. It's boring. And no woman just wants to always be on top, or that should get tiring after a while. A man got to know what he's doing. He got to be able to move that thing. There's a video floating around social media where this man is actually demonstrating and humping a pillow. So it's like you have to be able to move your hips. You got to be able to wind and all of that.
I don't even feel that. You just thought it looked sexy that man was doing it. He was a sexy man.
No, if he was in some vagina, that vagina would be melting on that thing.
Okay, I can't debate that because I wouldn't know. But I'll take your word for it. But I'm not going to debate. Usually I argue with you, but I can't debate that. But it's like when you're in there, you know that you're right. Because it's some porn. Although when men watch porn, men watch it for the woman, right?
Some. Go ahead.
All right, don't do that. in general, men are because I think men who are into men watch men porn. But men who watch straight porn, you're watching for the woman.
There are some men who are into men and women, but go ahead.
I ain't going there. There is we haven't even got started yet. You're trying to get us canceled. No, but a man's watching the woman. They need a good looking woman, but what they need is for the dude to do it right for you to fully get the scene. So you're not watching the man, but you can't enjoy it if the man's not doing the girl the way you want her to be done. Mm-hmm. So like sometimes a girl will have a real fat butt and you got this guy and he's kind of like doing these weird, awkward strokes and he's kind of, you're like, I'll skip. So it's like, you can't watch it. So I can see how y'all say a dude's not doing it right because it looks boring. Like, and because when you have sex, all you know is the motion you use, right? So you feel like, as a man, you feel like however you have sex is how sex is supposed to go. So you're thinking like, how can you mess it up? You get in, you do this, you do the stroke you do, this, that. But then you see other people do other stroke. You're like, why are you doing that? And it's like this don't look fun. Turn this off. And you kind of look like the girl's not even enjoying it. Like if you're watching porn and the girl's not enjoying it, you skip it. You're like, I don't want to watch this if the girl's not into it.
Women watch porn for men and women, though. I think all women have that bisexual kind of curiosity in them. You know what I'm saying? And some men kind of do too. I mean,
see, you may be shaking.
Yes, some men do. If you watching porn with a man and a woman having sex, you're gonna look over at that man's penis. You can't tell me you not. You're gonna look at his penis, be like, damn, my penis look like that, or how can I do that?
Listen. That's not bisexual. That's insecurity. Because you're looking and you're like, okay, so this is what's pleasing this woman. Am I really pleasing women? You know, you might think of that. In your mind.
I'm not saying it's bisexual for a man, but I'm saying you're gonna look at another man's penis when you watching porn and having sex with a female.
Only if you want to compare it to yours. True. And you want to know how it's an ego thing at that point. Because you're thinking like, what you start thinking is you have a woman that slept with this kind of guy, right? And if you're not adding up, you like, so if I met this girl after him, would she enjoy my sex too?
True.
You know, that's what it is. It's like, all right, I seen, because when you meet a girl, you don't know what kind of penis has been in her life.
But you can tell by the way her vagina feel, if her vagina is clampy or not. If that ain't no clamp on that penis, she lose.
Some women I know are big whores, but you have sex with them and they feel regular.
Why? Because it's wet and warm?
No, because it just don't feel loose like that. Like it comes in and it's tightened back, or it's the right fit for you. If it's the right fit for you, let's say, what if a woman has sex with? You can't tell how many men a woman has sex with, because let's say, what's the difference from having sex with 50 men and you having sex with your man 150 times? You still having sex too often.
True. So that piques my question. Can a man really tell then if a woman is cheating or sleeping with somebody else? Because if you can't tell how many men she's been with and that vagina is just right for yours, how could you tell if that woman is sleeping with somebody else?
I don't think it's I think when men say that, they're already curious, but they already feel that way. But there is kind of a difference because you have sex with the woman every day. So you know how it slips in, how it feels in there. And then one day you go in and it's like, you're like, whoa. You're like, I ain't been doing this. Who's getting this? Was it 20 dudes? Or a porn star? You're like, somebody
pissed in that thing?
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like you might, usually, it start off the same way when you having sex with your man. He gets it wet, he puts it in. It's usually a little struggle or however it goes in. And then this time, it's just, we ain't been having sex like that or nothing. We ain't had sex in a week or two. and then you put it in this like, or you've been on vacation, or she went home to see her friends, and then she come back, and you like, no, it shouldn't be like, how the hell I just went in like.
How the hell I just slide in here, my whole body?
Yeah, that would make a man feel some kind of crazy, you know? Or it wasn't how I felt the last time. Like, I had dudes tell me, like, man, like, not even his girlfriend. Like, it'll be like, men usually got a rotation of women. So they have like a girl out in this town, a girl out in this town, and he might have paid her rent and slept with her or something. And then he ain't see her for a month. And the next time he had sex with her, like, man, whoever was in there, they'd be like, man, she had sex with a zillion niggas because they didn't feel the same. They'd be like, nah, they were like, that thing was totally different. Like, I had men tell me that.
For real?
Yeah, they was like, that was he said, man, I know one thing I know. When my boy told me not too long ago, he said, this girl been getting beat down from the last time I seen her. He was like, I don't know who was in there or how many niggas. He was like, but that thing was super. He like, it had nothing to do with how it was before.
She probably was getting that thing beat up with a strap on or something. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. You know how, for some reason, when women get them straps, they get 32-inch strap-ons. Man, I've seen a girl take a strap on, had to be like 18 inches up her butt. I'm like, in her butt, like the whole thing disappeared. She took a strap like this.
She probably had fecal matter coming out her mouth at that point.
I think she was just really experienced in the butt. So it was like, it was to the point where I don't think she really probably even felt it in her vagina anymore. So she rather butt sex. Like, I think she did all kicking with vagina, and it only feels it in her butt.
You know what's crazy is we can't tell how many women that a man's been with. Like, we can't tell if y'all ran through or not. Like, how can we tell? Not unless y'all got some smell down there or something. Like, ladies, how
can tell probably by how good they are. Probably
okay.
So
if you're experienced.
It's the confidence level. Like, a man who knows what he's going to do, he's not nervous. He's pretty confident. He already know when he come into this how it's going to be, how the woman's going to react. It's like he doesn't got a care in the world. Somebody who's still nervous, they're unsure, or they haven't hit a certain level of certain women. Like, maybe you're out his range. Like, maybe a man bumps into you and he like, man, I don't know if this kind of woman gonna mess with me. I don't know what she been telling. You know, like, if you come in like, it's just another Paris.
Yo, let me tell you something. Speaking of like an experience and stuff like that, I want to tell you guys a story, right? So I was talking to this guy, and I knew he was a little bit younger than me, right? And he invited me on a date, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go on a date and everything. He said, can you pick me up at my house? I'm like, yeah, cool, I'll pick you up at your house, right? So I damn college dorm. Mind you, I'm like a grown woman. I'm pulling up at a college dorm, and I'm like, hold on, something ain't right. So he's like, can you come in and just wait for me to get dressed? I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm coming in. So I open the door. Dude got candles going, roses on the floor. He got a chair out and everything. I'm like, what is he about to do, right? So dude was like a noob or whatever, right? So he was a Kappa. He starts coming out and he doing his little stroll and all of that. He doing all of this. He sits me on a chair and he whining and grinding and stuff and doing all of this nasty stuff. He was yes, he was playing all of them songs and stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm in a whole college dorm. This little kid is trying to tear me out the frame. You know what I'm saying? I said he is so experienced. And by him doing that, I was immediately turned off. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, he licking his lips and doing all of this and, you know, backing it all up. I was like, bye, brother. That's a turn off.
You know what? I can see that. One, we got to be politically correct when we say this. When a man is that confident, see, that's a different level. That's like, you think you're the bad bitch. When you're that sensual and you think you're the prize of the sex, like, you don't even want the woman to turn you on. You think you coming out lotion. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of gunned up and, you know, I hit the gym. So, I feel good about myself naked. But when you think you is the cat's meow and you think your body motions and all of this, and you got fucking chicken grease coming down your back and you glistening, and I'm like, you two, that I think at that point, you feel like certain men are sexy. You know what it takes for a sexy man. Like, you're in tune with men's sex appeal too much. Like, the average man don't find themselves so sexy that they can come out and think, we think we turning you on with our personality, our charm, how we treat you. you might got a couple physical attributes. You like, all right, if I take my shirt off, I look good with my shirt off. But you don't know the body language of like,
right.
Like, come on, it's too much.
This brother literally came out like the rose petals was cool, but he had like a chair sitting there and he was like doing his little Kappa thing and pulling his shirt up. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? We just came to go on a date, like licking his tongue out. I said, this brother is too experienced. I'm sure I'm not the first girl. First of all, woman, he brought a grown woman to his college dorm. And I'm like, I hope he don't think he about to sleep with me in his college dorm or none of that. I literally had to get up and walk away.
He had a routine. So anytime a man has a routine, he's done this before. This is like, so if you come in a mood is set and this is that, and it's like, not if you've been married to a man because you know him. So if you've been living with a man or with a man for years and then he does something a little different for you one time. But if you come to a man to meet him and he got this whole thing, he got a meal, he got the lights a certain way. This is what he tell his friends. He'd be like, oh, I got this whole thing I do when I meet a woman. I set the lights. I got this one meal I cook. He probably cooked this meal the first time. I know a guy who does that. He cook a certain meal for every new girl he meet. He only cooked like 3 meals, but he mastered them. And it's such a like exquisite meal that you'll think you got a chef. But after he gets you, he'll never cook again. But that's what he does to get in that moment. Like he'll get you a little poem. He'll get you some candlelit stuff. And he like really prepares this meal that's really intricate. And you'd be like, damn, this is nice. And he'll spend a bunch of money. The whole thing will be like $1,400 in total. And like because he'll like, it's crazy. It'll be like steaks and crazy lobsters and this, that. And it's like a really good meal. And it's real expensive stuff. Big potato, everything. And
big potato.
For real, it's like, it's not no regular stuff. It's like king crab. The crab leg look like my leg. It's like a whole leg. Like, seriously. So like it'll work, but like when a man do that, he's in a routine, and that's what he found works for him. So he does the same pattern over and over again every time he meet a woman.
Man, this brother like, and he thought he was doing something. I was like, listen, I'm a whole grown up. You know what I'm saying? First of all, why you even invite me to a college dorm? That's unattractive for one. You should have told me you lived in a college dorm, bruh. You know,
if he was in college, then I get it. Even though when I was in
college, though he was out of college.
Oh hell no! When I was in college, I lived off campus. I never really lived in a dorm.
Oh my goodness! But we are definitely over time. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Show, take us on out. Take us on out.
This conversation, I don't know if it's because Paris is a freak and she made me. She messed my head up and made me go somewhere I don't usually go because I'm a really good guy. I'm a really good kid, and I had to go catch I gotta travel. I gotta go catch a train. And then I got to catch a couple planes. I'm on the road. So when we do this show, I'll be in like 2-3 different locations. I'm traveling. I'll usually buy one-way tickets. I don't even know where I'm going or what day I'm leaving or anything. I'll just be where I be. So I just want to tell you, I really appreciate this episode. It was a special Sunday edition. We usually go on Thursdays. And we were so excited for this topic that we went on a Sunday. And obviously something wrong with us. And we're a little sick in the head because we went 30. We almost did 2 episodes on this one episode. We went over because we got excited and the audience was kicking in. Appreciate Jay Gray. Appreciate everybody who's been tuning in regularly. Really appreciate it. And from the Don't Get Tricked Podcast Network, we appreciate them. And this is the 6th episode of Showtime in Paris. Are we coming back Thursday, Paris?
We are. We coming back Thursday.
Okay, so we'll cook up another topic. Hopefully the fan participation grows. We really appreciate when y'all talk to us. We appreciate this convo. After this over, don't you judge me. This wasn't me. This was Paris slipping me notes. Everything I said was Paris. I don't even have a topic. I don't even have an opinion on this. And I don't eat butt. That's a lie.
He tears it out the frame. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Nah, Paris is she likes her toes sucked and butt ate. So for everybody out there, that's not me. I'm just trying to, placate to my woman's a woman's world. We really appreciate y'all coming out. Paris, it was a really good show. I appreciate your transparency and everything. I like your little strobe lights in the back. I don't know how much those cost. I don't know if I can afford that. You live a real bougie life. Congratulations on your new car. I don't know if y'all seen it. Paris is rich, y'all. She got a new Benz that's dripping wet. So
it is a Benz. No, I have a Benz, but I have a BMW.
Oh, you have a Beamer. Yeah, I'm sorry. Bentley, Beamer, Benz, whatever. It's too rich for my blood. Paris, take us out of here. Tell us a little about your life. Now,
yes. Thank you. Like Show said, thank you for participating. Thank you, everybody that has been faithful and watching us on a consistent basis. Again, this is episode 6. We are truly grateful for Don't Get Tricked Networks. And we will be back on Thursday, guys. And definitely make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this episode if it's something that floats your boat, because you know what I'm saying, somebody else might like this juicy conversation. But we will continue to be transparent and continue to bring you guys juicy episodes. We would love to have you guys on our show here. Make sure that you let us know, either text us, inbox us, and get with us so that you could be an episode on this growing show. Who's to say, you never know where this could take us. So definitely make sure you tap in. Show, thank you so much for your transparency. Even though you eat booty, you are still okay with me. I know your breath does not have an odor. Yes. Guys, thank you for rocking with us. Have a wonderfully great evening. Until Thursday, Showtime in Paris is outro.
See y'all later. Appreciate it.